Hey guys, appreciate you tuning in to my YouTube station. Been trying to do one of these videos a day. One of the things that people were asking me was to talk about coming back from the situation we're in, which we're all hopeful that that's going to happen, and we're going to have football, and I think it's going to be an awesome experience. I'm old enough, I can remember back to we came back from 9/11, how football was able to unite people. I'm very hopeful that that happens again, that we see that again at every level, but at the high school level especially. I think it's something that unites people and can bring a sense of normalcy back to us at some point. That being said, here are a couple suggestions I would give you as an older guy who has done a lot of things wrong, and maybe you can avoid some of those things. One, the teams that come out from this, and you've been going to all the Zoom clinics and you have all this great information, are going to struggle with the temptation of doing way too much. And that's something I struggled with and still struggle with, is that I want to get ahead of where we need to be. I honestly believe this year the teams that are going to be successful are going to be teams that do really simple things really well. That's true all the time, but I think it's going to be especially true this year. Okay. The second thing I would highly recommend you do is you ease your kids into the water. Don't bring them back whatever day you get them and grind those kids into a pulp. You're getting kids that have been trying to work out on their own. You know they're not where they're supposed to be. Get them where they need to be slowly. I think you're going to see an increase in injuries, and if we're not smart as a coaching community, we can hurt a lot of kids. Get these kids back. Understand you're kind of starting from where you don't want to be starting from, and work your way up from there. Okay. The third thing I'd say is you need to be willing to adapt. This is going to be a whole season of adapting, getting your kids later than you expected. Okay. Maybe dealing with who knows what as far as restrictions on what you can do with your kids or where you can go. It's going to be a season about being flexible. And guys like me that struggle with being a micromanager are going to have a hard time, and we're going to need those guys in our corner telling us, Coach, let's control what we can control. Okay, let's have a plan of action, but be willing to adapt. And I'm not a guy that likes that. I don't like to have unknowns, but I think this is going to be a year where people that can handle that are going to be better off than the guys that really struggle with change of pace. So you want to answer the questions we've been talking about on my channel for the last week or so. If this happens, then this. But I can't prepare for if the 9 million possibilities are. I've got to be willing to understand. We've got built-in concepts of what we want to do, and we'll adjust and we'll adapt as need be. And what we're not going to do is overwhelm our kids. We're not going to overwhelm our coaching staff. And we're not going to worry about things we have no control over. You know, I learned a long time ago, the guy ahead of us, above us, he controls that stuff. And if he wanted me to, then I would. You know, fortunately for everybody, I don't control it. I've just got to learn to adjust and adapt. So those are the three things I'd tell you guys. Keep things simple with your kids. Ease them into the water. Okay, go slowly. And be willing to adapt and adjust. I think if you can do those three things, you're going to have a chance to look at this season as an opportunity instead of look at it as all these obstacles. We're telling our kids right now that we're looking at this as an opportunity for us to take an advantage, that we think this can play into our hands. You want to make this a positive thing for you instead of a built-in excuse that some teams are probably going to make it. Appreciate you guys tuning in.